Back to the business, thought I told you already. I'm the leader of the new school. Steph Curry with the new moves. Russell West with the new groove. Young Reef with the new moves. Yeah, I don't know, that's a different story. Can't eat if you ain't chipping for me. I can't sleep cause nowadays
you were on the corner and on the block doing stuff that you said that you weren't supposed to do. So do you feel like your daughter really inspired you mostly as far as, you know, getting off the block and really pursuing music, and music so happens to be the occupation that you pursue?
Nah, definitely. Like, she did it 100%. You know what I mean? Like, having her is, now you gotta think about what you're doing, and that's my reason for being better. You know what I mean? Before, you don't need a reason. You're just young and trying to live fast and get it however you can. Me having a daughter kind of like settle me down is like, yo, her life is more important than anything else. You know what I mean? Like, her life comes first, you know? So everything else don't really matter. So she just kind of like brought me back down and humbled me down, you know?
Right. So when you first starting out, you actually make your own beats, right?
Yeah, nah, not making my own beats. So like, I was just recording myself, mixing myself, pretty much doing everything except making my own beat. So like, I just grab a beat, boom, record myself, mix myself, cut myself up, and just put it out myself. You know what I mean? We don't got no help. Like, we 100% independent. You know what I mean? Like, exactly, ain't no team behind me. It's just me. You know what I mean? My team's still in the trenches trying to get it, but you know.
Okay. So let's talk about your most recent project, Cali's Story. How did you come up with the concept behind Cali's Story?
So with Cali's Story, I wanted to do a little bit more personal touch. Like, I wanted to give fans a point of view from, as if I'm telling my daughter's story. So from my point of view, I'm making my daughter's gonna make it. So I'm gonna tell you how she made it, in a sense. Like, Cali's Story was more just like telling you about me, situations that we going through, just more like inner things and more things that like people wouldn't know if you just watch it from the outside. So when Value of a Dream 3 drops, that's when we coming for the streets and we giving niggas that real. You know what I mean?
Cali's Story, man, I'm really rocking with the concept and everything behind it. The whole, you know, talking about your life, talking about how your daughter inspired you. Do you feel like you created a real life story that you feel like your daughter can sit back and listen to and be like, yeah, this is like an audiobook or something, you know?
In a way, I definitely do. Like, I think she could listen back and then try to feel how I was feeling at that time period as she was growing up. You know what I mean? Like, she's growing up, she ain't gonna have to be worried about none of this. So she go back and hear this music and understand what we going through at that time period and stuff. You know, like how we survived to make sure she lived great.
All right, now there's a few tracks on here that stood out particularly to me that I really rock with. So the first song is Never Again. In this song, you were basically just talking about your life, and in the song, you were also talking about how, you know, you and your pops were doing the same thing. So talk to us about that detail and that certain bar.
Definitely. Shout out my guy Cheese too. He on the record. My man Cheese McNeese. My pops was a hustler, so he was a young hustler on the come up, and me and him, I feel like we going through the same issues. Like, he was a hustler on the come up, and he wound up getting into a situation, and he wound up getting shot. So as he got shot, you know, his mindset is like wartime, and he ready to go back, you know, and people that's around him wasn't ready for that. So like, people kind of fell back from him and like separated themselves from him. So I feel like with me, I feel like we was on the same path, you know what I mean? And as I'm doing this music thing, and I see how people just fall back and everybody just separates themselves, you know? So I definitely feel like we're on the same boat and shit, you know?
Okay.
Make sure y'all go check that record out too. That record crazy.
Yeah, man, that record is a banger, bro. For real, I'm rocking with that record.
Shout out Cheese too. That's my guy, man. He ain't out here right now. But shout out him.
Now, in Anna Interlude, you were talking about how you're lacking confidence, or you know, how somebody kind of inspires you to kind of be more confident. Do you feel like confidence is a huge thing in rap, and that's something that everybody, from like Future to Gucci, to all the way to Lil Uzi Vert, do you feel like that's something that they, you know, struggle with being a rapper?
Yeah, I feel like confidence is hard. Like, for my part, like, I can't expect you to believe in me if I don't believe in myself. You know what I mean? Like that's a huge thing. So, you know, as I'm just starting the year in, I'm more like building confidence. And it's not more like an inner thing. It's more just accepting me saying things on records that might be too personal for people to hear. You know, so it's more like just being confident that you'll understand as opposed to taking it a wrong way or taking it a different perspective.
So how do you break that barrier when it comes to being afraid of saying something that you feel like would make somebody feel some type of way?
Man, I'm gonna tell you like my pops told me, it's like you gotta throw yourself in the jungle. Put yourself in the worst situation, and however you make it out is how you're gonna make it out. You know, you can't really work your way to certain things. You just gotta like take it however you want to see it. So
now this other banger right here, man, this is my favorite one right here. Whoa, whoa, what?
Oh, the whoa, whoa, what?
Man, hey man, that whoa, whoa right there, that's really a catchy phrase. I can see a bunch of people saying that.
Man, thank you, man.
Yeah, so talk to us about that song, Whoa, whoa, what?
So whoa, whoa, what is just more like a recollection, like just showing people like it's real where we coming from, and like understand this shit ain't no facade, like this really me. So like when you hear them records and you really get me, you know what I mean? Like it's no gimmick, there's no nothing, like, you know, we really how we are, you know what I mean? I say shit on records, that's really how I am, it's no joke. So, you know what I mean? But definitely Whoa Whoa was crazy too, man, you feel me? And definitely, and shout out my daughter too, like this whole Whoa Whoa, like that's her 100%, like I stole that from her. So when she get older, there's gonna be some lawyers involved.
So your daughter already giving you creative ideas.
Yeah, she already put some pointers in, so I know when she get older, we're gonna have to cut a check for that. But you know, it's definitely, you know.
Okay. Now talk about Space.
Yeah, Space is crazy. Space is definitely like, it's like a self-relieving record. I want to give a huge shout out to my Buzzin'. That's what we call him, Buzzin'. But with him, definitely one of the verses was talking about him. He wound up going through this crazy car crash, well, bike crash, and could have lost his life. You know what I mean? And I noticed like I wasn't there as I could have been. You know, so like he definitely needed support from people, and you know, we wasn't there for him. So like I know vice versa now. We go through our little situations and shit. I know he ain't gonna be there for us, you know what I mean? And that definitely affected our relationship.
Okay.
You know, so
yeah, real,
I could definitely admit that shit, like we wasn't there for something, and you know what I mean? Okay. So that shit definitely crazy.
So talk to us about Vent.
Vent, man. Vent is definitely like even like the opening lines, speaking on like my mother and pop's relationship and shit. It's more like Vent is just crazy. It's kind of like I'm speaking about my relationship with my damn. Vent is fucking crazy, bro. Yo, you on your shit? I fuck with you for that, bro. No bullshit. But I said like, yo, definitely like, I'm speechless right now. But Vent is definitely crazy. Like, no bullshit. It's more just like an actual insight into the way I see things, and you know, like even like the personal perspectives. Like at the end of the day, I just want the best for the people around me, and I want my niggas to win the most. You know what I mean? So you hear on Vent, or like you even hear on certain records, I might say things that you might be like, damn, I'm dissing somebody, or damn, I'm coming at somebody. In reality, I'm just telling you my side perspective of things, and that's definitely like on Vent is a huge point of my perspective on how things are going around me. You know, yo, shout out to Smitty, man. Like, yo, buzzing on his shit, man.
Yeah, man, I do my research, man.
Definitely
yeah, for
do,
sure.
bro. That shit crazy.
Yeah, man. So with that being said, when I listen to your music, it has a real modern sound, right?
Yeah.
Like the flow, I feel like that's really running the game is the triplet flow, the stutter flow.
Yeah.
I feel like you got that flow, but at the same time, you're saying stuff that's different from everybody else. So can you just talk to us a little bit about that? Describe your rhyme scheme and pattern and how you really like to get on the track and make yourself stand out from everybody else.
Yeah, so like Like me, I like to run off the beat sometimes, and then I like to be fast, like catchy fast, you know. So like my thing, I can't just talk about records. Like I can't just talk about anything on a record, cause I don't like listening to records like that. That's not my thing. I like telling you about real things or things that you can relate to or things that I've been through that I know people done been through. So, you know, my rhyme pattern is just more like try to be fast with it, so you know people can get that little speed up, and then just have like a catchy hook that you could definitely relate to, and quick that you could just yell out whenever you want, and then just talk about real shit, you know.